back.
We're back.
In the
In-depth
Ennui
career.
Enclave.
Live from the Ennui Enclave, the home of Ennui,
Yes.
the Ennui headquarters
Yes.
in this country. So we're doing a career retrospective.
Career
with
retrospective.
Ashley. She's walking us year by
We
year.
need to do the little like. See, I feel like this would all work if this was like, you know, the rules of attraction when the guy's talking about like him being in Europe and it's like he talks like really
Yeah,
fast
right,
about
right,
everything
right,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like I feel like I just wish I could do that all the time. Like if that's how I could speak to people and people
Yeah.
could understand, like I would literally love that. Like, because I feel like I'm always trying to like insert like years of memory into someone to get to a certain point, and I'm just
Right.
kind of like, God, like if only I could just share all those memories in fast forward speed and
Right.
insert it right into their minds, or like if there was a way like people could like enter a memory.
Right. Interesting, yeah.
Like that would just be so
Yeah,
easy for
right,
me,
right,
but
right.
also that defeats the purpose of like me writing, so like
Yeah, right.
in a way. But
Yeah,
just an interlude.
sure.
When I was in seventh
Tell it
grade,
that
the
way.
summer of seventh grade,
Yeah.
I went to LeakyCon, which is the convention in Portland. That was in Portland that year, where it was like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's basically Harry Potter themed, but there are also like a lot of other fandoms like Lord of the Rings scholars, like weird like areas.
Scholars.
Yeah, no, there was this woman who was literally like doing her PhD in like Tolkien or something like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, these people are like insane, but like I just thought it'd be fun because like my internet friend was also going, so I thought it'd be fun to like meet up.
Yeah.
But like it was fun. I mean, I like ran a 5K around Portland. I think that's kind of fun.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
but other than that, like staying in Portland, like I don't know, we stay at like this kind of like small boutique hotel. Like it was nice because like I never
That's all
really
they have there, it feels like, is boutique
Yeah.
hotels.
like it was nice. Like went to like, you know, like places around. But
Did you go to Powell's?
yeah, like Powell's and like
How
that
did you
like
feel about
donuts.
Powell's?
I liked it. I mean, like I love like bookstores, and anything that wasn't like a Barnes and Noble just
Yeah.
seemed like very like mind blowing, you know.
Right.
And that's
Mind
how.
blowing.
Yeah, I mean
But
that's.
you had been probably going to City Lights. When was the first time you went there?
I mean, I definitely was like, you know, went there when I was younger, but then like after moving to the suburbs, like I
Right.
think the first time like I, you know, like when I started getting into the beats and
Right.
stuff, when I was like in 8th grade or something, or 7th or 8th grade, like I was like,
Was it connected to the place at all? I mean, was there awareness like, wow, this is where this happened, or you know, San Francisco and
yeah.
City Lights and all that?
Yeah, but that's like, but I like wasn't back in San Francisco
Right.
yet, so it was just like when I could visit, like I was like, just like I love this place so much, or like this is like actually like
Right.
really insane that these people like used to like come, or like
Yeah.
used to be here, and like going to like see the plaque where like Allen Ginsberg read like Howl for the first time, read from it for the first time and stuff. Like it's a gallery in North Beach.
Six Gallery.
Yeah, Sixth Gallery. But I went to the plaque in front of like and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like very interesting, but like it also just made me like really like sad and nostalgic in a way where it was like I feel like I need to be back in San Francisco, you know?
Yeah.
So the whole time it was just very like on top of like already having like teenage angst, it's kind of like, oh, like I like need to be back in San Francisco, and it's like nothing seems like it would, like nothing I'm doing here, like it feels like would really amount to anything if I stayed here. Like
In
that's kind of how
Sacramento, or?
yeah, that's kind of like how it felt like. So, cause in basically in 8th grade, like I literally like lived on Twitter. I think like I would be on Twitter like on my phone.
Really? When you're in 8th grade?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's
different
kind
than
of
mine.
why like I don't really use social media anymore. No,
I mean,
to
AIM
the-
away messages were basically
Yeah.
Twitter.
But to like the extent that I used to use it, like I don't use social media like that just because like there was literally like parts of my life where all I was doing like was on Twitter, and it's like I would rather like spend time with my friends and like live in reality.
Yeah.
But that's like I couldn't have that reality in
Right.
7th grade.
Right.
Especially
right.
because,
I
like,
see.
you
Because
know.
you're at home. And
Yeah.
so Twitter's actually like this amazing.
It was this like place where like
Yeah.
I could actually like bond with these people about bands and stuff.
Yeah.
In a way where it was like very immediate versus like even though it was like Tumblr and things, like I wasn't
Right.
really like I don't know, Twitter was just like kind of like where I could just like see all this and also like connect to like celebrities and stuff. Like I would try to like
Right.
tweet like band members and
Right.
stuff. Like I don't know, it seemed like a place
Right.
I could do that.
Right.
And then like so basically I didn't read
Kitty?
I didn't read any of the books for class really. I think I didn't even I read To Kill a Mockingbird like later, like when I was in 9th grade or something. I like read it later.
You didn't read it in class. We had a whole
No.
fucking unit. Our
Yeah, we
teacher
had a
was like
whole unit.
obsessed with
Yeah.
it.
No, we had
I don't
a
know
whole unit
why.
too.
I mean, I know why, but
Yeah.
like,
No, we had a whole unit too.
yeah.
Except I could just nod and get away with it in a way where like I would listen to class discussions and then like I did well on the test based on like overhearing, but like I just like felt like I was like I don't like fundamentally feel like I want to read like required reading or something.
With that book particularly, the tests that our teacher gave us were so specific. There was no way you could have passed a test without reading it because it was highly. It was like 3 pages at a time. She would test you on like specific details.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like,
Yeah.
I didn't read it.
Yeah.
I mean, I read most of it. I think
Yeah.
it was, I don't know. It's kind of weird how they boil American literature down to
Yeah.
like these like 5 books.
But I just like thought it was strange because like I really love Catcher in the Rye and like I just want to read more things like that. Like that's the thing. I never read Catcher in the Rye or The Great Gatsby or any of that for school. I read on my own time.
Right. Even though maybe they had a unit or something.
No, because for some reason like none of the schools.
What were they teaching?
Well, I ended up like switching schools so many times in high school and stuff that like I never actually was in a class where I was even assigned that. First of all, like which is like weird.
We definitely got
Kind of
Great
bizarre.
Gatsby.
It's because like it was kind of
Catcher in the Rye was like optional, but
Yeah.
Great Gatsby was.
Yeah, it's like it was like weird because like so 9th grade we had to read like Gilgamesh and we read Henrik Ibsen plays.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
We read The Dollhouse.
That's
whatever.
real weird.
We read Romeo and Juliet. We read
Yeah, we read that.
we read Brave New World.
Yeah, we read that senior year.
Yeah, but that's all we read freshman year. We read like an eclectic mix of things.
Yeah.
But that's because it was like weird because I was in this IB program. Like I think American Lit was taught to juniors, but like
Yeah.
only regular
Right.
juniors. But
Right.
if you were in this IB program as a junior,
Right.
you would be learning like rhetoric or something. But
Really?
that actually happened. So when I actually was a junior, but I wasn't in the IB program anymore, I just went to the art school in San Francisco. For AP Lang, we actually did just learn rhetoric. So it was like essay writing and argumentative like essays.
Really?
So I never learned American literature. Yeah, it's kind of
Really?
crazy. I never learned American literature in
Wow.
high school because I was always
That was the best year, to be honest.
yeah, because the regular juniors learned that, and my like teacher actually was like, oh like when I was a senior like he was like you should come in and like you should teach the unit about the beat poets or something. I was like, but I dropped out of high school by that
But you
point.
dropped out.
Yeah.
Ashley's a high school dropout. I
Yeah.
think that's important
Yeah.
to
So
highlight.
the big turning point. I mean, I was getting to the beats. I really loved. Then I like read Allen Ginsberg and William Burroughs, but I liked William Burroughs' like prose, and like I liked all of that, even before Killer Your Darlings. Like this is like before, just to make it clear. Like I liked it before Killer Your Darling. Killer Your Darlings was just kind of like the extra like cherry on top that like something I could attach
yeah,
to.
and it came
And
after
bond,
you
yeah.
had already.
Yeah, but I had already like bonded with this.
It's like they gave you this
Yeah.
amazing. Like
So
you
in 9th
manifested it.
grade, we had to do this presentation on like someone you feel like who stood up for like censorship or just being like an enemy of the people, because we read enemy of the people.
Right.
And I was like
crazy.
Allen Ginsberg, because he's like, yeah, like I just feel like he's such like a force for like against censorship and stuff like that. So you can get extra credit if you memorize your whole speech. I messed up one word, like I forgot one word during my speech, but I literally like wrote this whole speech as Allen Ginsberg and like recited it to the class. But yeah, that was kind of like.
How did they know you messed it up?
Oh, because the
If you wrote it.
the teacher is like reading it while you're reading.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it was dumb. It was really dumb, right?
You still did it. You missed
Yeah,
one word.
like
Who
I
cares?
still did it. Yeah, no, that's kind of school that I was trying to get out of. Like I was like,
Yeah.
fuck these people.
You're
But,
brave that
yeah.
you dropped it. You know what's crazy is it seems like you always knew who you were, and you were always committed to it, and nothing else really fucking mattered that much.
Yeah.
Or like not it. You knew in your heart that it was like not the core of what you
Yeah.
wanted.
Like freshman year, like I was already kind of like in a mindset where I was like, I don't think I can't picture myself being at this school for 4 years.
Tarantino dropped out.
No, yeah.
He dropped out in 8th grade.
Yeah. I mean, I really believe that like films like people like unless you like really want to like work as like I don't know.
What?
I have a lot of mixed opinions about filmmaking. Like I think like watching films is the best education you could have.
Yes and no. There's a lot that I have to say about that, but we'll pass
Yeah.
for now.
But I just think generally speaking, like
Yeah.
unless you like really
It's
just
like, well, what do you feel that way about writing? What's the best education for writing? Reading? Or what?
I think
Why is watching films so good for making films? And what is it for
Well,
writing that's
I
going to make
think,
you a
like,
better writer? Do you
I
think?
think like watching films, you just like learn a lot, or like you develop like kind of like a vocabulary of like, or you kind of become like very passionate in a way just like from developing all that you kind of like learn different, I don't even want to say techniques, but like just like different things, because like an amateur like filmmaker might be like, oh, like you have to what the fuck is it called, like the 180 rule or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, right.
You know,
right,
like
right,
stuff
right.
like
You can't
that.
break the 180
You can't
rule.
break this, you can't do that.
Yeah, right.
Or like they want to do something formulaic, but it's like if someone's just like watching like experimental films or something, like they already kind of have a sense
Right.
of like what's out there rather.
Right.
And I feel like like I don't know, like I was gonna say like if you want to go into production, like it might be useful, but like
Right.
but you could also just like do that just from like working on sets
Right,
rather
right,
than going
right,
to school
yeah.
for it, cause like but 9th grade, like that's when I was just kind of like I felt like already so like detached, and I really wanted to go back to San Francisco. I just felt so detached from everything, and I was just very like much online, like I really liked like I know like everyone is like it's kind of become a joke, like Rookie Mag or whatever,
Yeah.
but like for me it like actually was like a big deal, because that
So
was
you were into Rookie.
well, this is the thing. So I found the yearbook when I was just in Barnes and Noble,
Right.
just
Yeah,
randomly,
yeah.
and I was just like, wait, like this is different than
So you didn't even find it online.
no.
You found the book.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like I was like a very like physical person, like
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. Like I found the yearbook.
What
and, like,
year was that? 2010 or something? 9?
I think 11.
When did Rookie magazine start?
I don't know. Like I think.
Were you like kind of late to the party, or were you getting there at the
No.
same time as everybody?
At the same time as everybody, because I had like or like I read like Rookie Yearbook 1, so that came
I do
out.
feel like Rookie magazine was kind of like a unique launching pad for like smart literary
Yeah.
type
It came
people your
out.
age.
Oh wait, it actually came out.
Like 2000.
Wait, no, Yearbook 1 publication date.
So
2012.
okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
but
found
when
it
did the
right.
website start is what I'm
I
asking.
think 2011. When did Rookie Mag start? 2011, September 2011.
That's crazy to me. I would have guessed way earlier.
No, because Tabby's
That's
not that
nuts.
old.
Well, I know that,
Yeah.
but like, even still, it feels like something that would have started a few years earlier. You know, because it's like a blog basically,
Yeah, but
right?
I don't,
mean,
I don't know. I found it right when it was the yearbook. It literally came out, and I was just looking at it with my friend at Barnes and Noble, and I was just like, wait, this is like actually like engaging, or
yeah.
like I thought it was like.
Yeah, it
Like,
actually,
interesting
when
to
I
read.
saw it, I was like, Jesus Christ, this feels like my culture.
Yeah, like I felt like that this was my culture. I was like, wait, there are like other people who like connect to this culture.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the culture that I'm seeing like at school or like
Yeah.
on TV or anything like this isn't like the culture that I want to belong in.
It felt smart, it felt like
Yeah.
it actually had a heart in a way. But it
Yeah.
had style, it kind of had a
Yeah.
Wes Anderson thing, but it was highly.
Like
And the fact that it
the
was like
style
an
is-
8-year-old kid or something, like this Yoda of fucking like, you know, it's like
Well,
all
that
of a
was-
sudden
no, that
Tavia's
was her
meeting with
blog.
like Karl Lagerfeld.
Well, that was her
or whatever.
fashion blog that she had before Rookie.
Oh, I see. What is that? What was that?
That was Fashion Rookie. That was just like her fashion blog.
So when did
That's
that
when we were-
start?
That's when she was younger.
See,
when
that's
she was,
what
like,
I'm
eight-
thinking
yeah.
of. That was like what,
Yeah.
2007, 8
Yeah,
or
that's when
something.
she was younger.
Yeah.
But then Rookie
Okay.
Mag was just something she had when she was old,
I
a
see,
little
okay.
older. But
Right.
yeah, but that's like,
Because she was like very young.
Yeah.
It was like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, this kid
but that's
is like.
what I mean. Like, I like kind of regret like when I was like 11. So like I could have been posting my like, outfits online and stuff, but I didn't do it enough.
Right.
Well, because it was
you had
also
cute outfits.
yeah, but it was also like
You
know
put them together?
yeah, of course. But it's also like when people like warn like
Yeah.
oh like internet safety
Uh-huh.
blah blah, because like back then like that was a
Right,
lot
right.
like you were like
Especially if you're a
kinda-
kid.
you were really like warned against that, like
Posting yourself.
Yeah,
or something
posting yourself, or, like,
interesting.
writing
As a
personal
kid,
information.
who would tell you that?
your teachers,
Really?
stuff like that, or like it just wasn't really.
Did
like,
you ever read like the Sartorialist or any of that kind of street fashion thing?
No, so that's the thing. Like I was never really like I wouldn't really look at these things online because like I don't know. I just felt like
Did you have an iPhone?
disconnect. I got an iPhone when I was like 12 or 13, but I would like go on these photo shoots. Hold on, let me find it.
But you had good enough style, you think, as a middle schooler, you could have like been a fucking blogger or something.
I mean, I posted on Tumblr, but it wasn't like I wasn't like the most popular like Tumblr person. But I had like people like who would like follow me on Tumblr and stuff.
Okay, right.
Yeah, like-
there you go. Oh my God.
No, like I never like was a huge like big like overnight sensation or whatever. But like people did like look at my style and like look at my posts like on Tumblr and stuff. But on Instagram, this is like the most embarrassing thing. I deleted like I had to make my Instagram private for some reason, but like I also like deleted all photos of myself before 2013 because someone
You deleted all photos of
someone
yourself.
I took this joke seriously where someone was like, oh my god, like sometimes I really do think that like I keep thinking that like you're based on your Twitter that you are the real Patrick Stump or something. So I was like,
Who's that?
lead singer of Fall Out Boy. So I was just like, wait, fuck, maybe I should like try to like engage in this person's like delusion. So I like quickly deleted everything off my Instagram.
Wow, really?
But I don't know why I did that. It was like a weird compulsion. But no, I was like really into that. But then I was just like so jealous of Rookie Mag that I didn't buy it. Like I didn't go out of my way to like even read it really. Like I was just like,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
can see
like
that, right.
I wish I was doing this.
Yeah,
like fuck
right,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I just
Yeah,
didn't do
right.
it.
This should, yeah, I get what
You know,
you're
like
saying,
this should be me. So I
Right,
fuck
yeah.
that. Like whatever.
Yeah.
So I just did my own thing on Tumblr. Like I didn't really give a shit.
Right.
But like I would still like sometimes I would like borrow the new Rookie Mag like yearbook from the library or whatever,
Right.
and like I mean I like actually like had a moment because like there was this whole article about how you can like be a tumbleweed at Shakespeare and Company, and that really changed my life in a way.
Oh,
'Cause,
right.
like-
You can stay there.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was just kind of like,
Did
oh
Jenny
wait,
Zhang write that, or?
who knows? But I was just like, oh, like that's what I want to do, or like that's like the life that I'm like
Yeah.
missing out on. Like I could be doing that right now. Like why am I
Right.
here, and like, you know, what am I doing with my life? Like I could literally be like,
Yeah,
I feel
right,
like
right.
confident enough as a 14-year-old to like stay at Shakespeare and Company alone. Like literally, like I was just like, you
Yeah.
know, like I could be doing all this stuff,
Right.
taking photos, like doing things, like right now. And just like ashamed that like I didn't.
Right.
But then, finally, like I was just like
Well, we
convinced
lived
that-
in a different world. It would have been a lot harder to do that. You would have been immediately, you know, picked up by the authorities and returned to your parents. You know.
Well, yeah, but no, yeah, but I mean, just like doing things that seemed important to me.
Right.
So then, I like convinced my mom. I was like, wait, like I really want to go to this summer camp in at UC Berkeley, like for creative writing, like that's what I want to do, because like I feel like I'm not
Right.
doing anything literary here or in school. And then finally, like she let me like, or like, you know, like I saved money, and like I went to the summer camp at UC
Are
Berkeley.
either of your parents literary, or either one of them into books, or where does that come from?
I don't
Because
know.
it seems like you've known this your whole life. How did
Yeah.
you find this out? Even in kindergarten.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's like strange. I mean, my mom's always like bought books and like
Yeah.
read to me at night and stuff
Okay.
like that.
She
But,
read
like,
to you.
Yeah, but she's.
What? Do you remember anything specifically?
I mean, no, it's just like picture books and stuff, but like.
Distinctly
Yeah.
Cheese Man, or Shel Silverstein.
Yeah,
or
like Shel Silverstein.
Shel Silverstein. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So when I was 14, I was reading, or like I was like, I really want to read The Secret History by Donna Tartt, so I got that at the library,
When
and I
you're
read
14.
and I read at the back she went to Bennington College, and I was like,
see.
wait, like what's Bennington College? I was just curious because I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
And Googled it, and I was like, you can create your own major, stuff like that. And then I was like, wait, that's like what I would do. And sometimes I realize this, I was just so determined, you know, like I feel like I was always so determined, where like it didn't even occur to me that like you can start a career in college. Like, you know, like people go to college to like
to train
to
for their
train
career,
for careers and stuff.
supposedly.
It just never like, you know, even occurred to me that I could go to college
Yeah.
to like.
Like Bret Easton Ellis.
Wait, what?
Be successful in the middle of college.
Oh no, that's not what I mean. I mean like to go to college to learn something like statistics, or like
Right.
or even like what's something like tangible, that communications or something.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like those people like were born with knowing communications or something.
Right.
It just never occurred to me that like you can go to college, or like people learn things in college
Right.
to like get a job or something. Like I don't know why like
Yeah.
no one's even ever spoken to me about that. Like it just feels like something that was never like I've always been like, I'm gonna be a writer and that's kind of it.
Right, yeah.
No, cause like people go to school for like marketing and then they do like a marketing job or something.
Right.
You know, but I was always like, if I didn't like, I just felt like I wouldn't go to college to like learn something that I already wasn't like into,
Right.
like it just
Sure.
didn't
Yeah.
seem
Yeah.
like, it just didn't seem like, I just wasn't even aware that people
Right.
did that, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, that sounds like really like weird to say, but like I just couldn't imagine, like I didn't even consider the possibility of like going to college to learn something new.
Right. Yeah.
I just thought like it would just further my craft.
Yeah. Right.
So anyway, so I was like, oh, I should go to Bennington, or like I was kind of Googling around, and then at UC Berkeley I went for poetry, and that's like when I really like started reading things, and I did my first open mic, and
What was that like?
I was the only one for my summer camp.
In Berkeley.
I was the only person.
Where?
It's this place, the Starry Plow.
Okay.
I was the
What
only.
is that?
It's just kind of like a pub.
Okay.
That they do these open mics that are judged.
Really?
Yeah, I was the
Did you
only
get a score?
Yeah,
or-
so I was the only person
Yikes.
from my summer camp who like even did it, because we were just there to like watch, but they were like, but I was like, wait, I want to like read my poem, like, so I read a poem that I had written at summer camp that, like, you know, that week or whatever, and I got an 8.8,
Wow.
and I was like, damn, like that's crazy, because I had just written this poem, and like,
Yeah.
it's my first time like being in an open mic and like competing,
Right,
like
yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I did it, and yeah, it was like kind of crazy. And then after me, a thought just occurred, like, oh, like I could, like I feel like it just felt kind of natural to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know,
Right.
like I wasn't like, oh my god, like this is so crazy, scary or something. Like,
Yeah.
it felt kind of natural, and I was just kind of like, it was chill. But yeah, that like those few weeks, like I was just like writing and like, you know, like putting together my work and like sharing it with people. Like I thought it was very like this is what I want to do, and like I learned a lot about like craft then, I think. That's still like carried
Really?
with me.
Who were the teachers?
So my teacher for poetry, his name Douglas Manuel.
Okay.
I'm still like in contact with him. He actually had a book that just came out with Red Hen Press.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and he like, yeah, no, he's
I feel like I've heard of the name.
yeah, he was a good teacher. Like I don't know, like, yeah, like it was just fun and just like being around Berkeley, like you know, some of the stuff is
They're serious
not-
about poetry. That's
Yeah.
definitely one of the core poetry places in this
Yeah,
country.
like to be there,
The history there.
especially after being like stuck in like
Yeah.
near Sacramento for so
Right.
long, like it just felt so nice. And then finally, like we moved that fall back to San Francisco, and for a year I went to a normal high school.
Right.
And the whole time, I almost actually dropped out of high school when I was 15.
Yeah.
Because I'd written a letter to the president of Bennington, or whoever on the board, and I was like, is there any, like, you know, circumstances, like, extra, like, you know, like extreme circumstances where, like, you know, this could be a possibility and
Yeah.
stuff. And, like, they were, like, based on your portfolio, stuff like that, and I was kind of in contact, but then I got, like, freaked out. I was kind of like, you know, like, maybe this is too early, you know, like I can't be there, like, as a 15-year-old. Like, that's
Yeah,
a little
right,
too early.
right,
That's
right.
scary. Like, I still haven't, like,
Yeah.
lived my life in the way I want to live my
Right.
life as a normal teenager. So then, an idea occurred to me to, I don't know what I was exactly reading when I was 15, like, I really liked Donna Tartt. Like, I thought her prose was very, like, it was probably just, like, you know, stuff like that, like Frank O'Hara, probably, like, stuff like that in that kind of caliber.
Mm-hmm.
So then I, decided to apply for the film program.
Right.
Cause I was like, film, like, cause my writing's always been called cinematic and stuff, so I was just like, maybe I should apply to this film program. And that was kind of like interesting, I guess. I don't know why, like, now it seems kind of cringe, but.
Your writing was cinematic, so that's what made you apply.
Well, it wasn't really that, it was just kind of like, it was an option where like, even though, like, I've never been really, like.
You wanted to be a filmmaker?
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to, like, direct my own films, so, like, I feel like, a big part of, like, my trajectory is watching Palo Alto when I was, like, 14.
Right.
Because that was actually, like, a film that I just really connected to.
Right.
And I felt like that was the kind of film I wanted to make.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was very, like, aesthetic, and I feel like I just, like, wanted things, because, like, I feel like I've always had a hard time, like, explaining to something when it's just, like, you know, more of a vibe-based thing.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, like, I feel like I've always been more feeling and vibe-based and, like, visual-based rather than, like, a plot or, like, things like
Right.
that. So then I did get in to the film program based on, like, I did write this short, like, screenplay that I've always had an idea about, like, because I've always been really obsessed with the idea of like living in a lighthouse and lighthouses.
Yeah.
So I wrote this thing where there's a painting of a lighthouse, and then it turns out like, or the big reveal is that the curator who's like describing this is actually like the person who like knew or dated the painter of the lighthouse painting. But I don't know, this whole big thing. But I submitted like a shortened version of that, and then I also took photos, or like, cause I've always been taking photos, so I like sent a bunch of photos, and then I
Right.
wrote these like imaginary like screen caps and stuff for them,
Right.
and they thought that was engaging, and yeah, like when I interviewed with them, it was a very literary like interview. Like we talked about like short stories and like sound, like Franny and Zoe and stuff like that, and like but the department head, he like really liked me because the other kid, like I kind of felt like I got in because the other kid who was gonna be interviewed after me, he came like right on time for his interview, and the department head like wanted to talk to me longer and was like, oh, like why don't you like go like do another lap around the track field or something.
Yeah.
To the guy, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's crazy, but I guess I probably got in, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then in high school, then it was very much like reading like Lesson Zero. That was also really informative for me, or formative, I guess, but like both. I really like the idea of just like writing like, lack of a better term, like autofiction.
That's when you started to do autofiction?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did do like some kind of autofiction when I was like 15 probably.
Yeah.
Like I did write a lot of poems. Yeah, I mean, I got my first poem published in like a literary magazine and got paid when I was 15, I think. I was in the Claremont Review and I got like $50 or something, or 100, I don't know, something like that. And yeah, it was this poem based on my experience at UC Berkeley, the UC Berkeley summer camp.
Okay.
It was just kind of like, you know, just like my life, like kind of like New York school, just like,
Right.
you know, this is just what I was doing. Because like I was actually doing things, because it felt like before, like in the suburbs, like I just wasn't
Right.
really doing anything that I could write about. So I just like, it felt more like then,
You have to
like,
do things to be able to write it. I do
Yeah.
this, I do that. Blah,
yeah, like I feel like back then, like, even though like I did try a lot to write like imagine, like, you know, imagine
Yeah.
situations and stuff, I just feel like that wasn't like working the way I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like then it was more of like a formative like watching a lot of films
Right.
part of my life.
Right.
Like I watched, yeah, like Palo Alto is like one of my favorite
Yeah.
films. And then finally like yeah, I mean I feel like even like I feel like poetry has always been just like there with me.
Yeah.
Where it's like I feel like even when I like entered Bennington, like I didn't feel like, oh, I had to like take like a, you know, like a foundational poetry class or something.
Yeah.
So I never really did that, but I
Yeah.
did take poetry workshops and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it was very much like
Did you study
I'm just
poetry
shocked.
history or anything like you read the Romantics or fucking, I don't know, fucking the Fairy Queen or any kind of shit?
no, because again,
Or
like
I don't know, you know, fucking
Yeah, I don't-
Rumi or I don't know.
no, but I mean I have a lot of books at home that was kind of like my own.
Your song
education.
lyrics were more
Yeah,
your thing.
But no, but I had like Keats and like
Yeah.
Wordsworth and stuff like that. I read that like in my own time, but I was never in like a class
Right.
where I was forced to
I
do
see.
this stuff.
Mhm.
Even like the class
Yeah.
on the New York school at Bennington, like I felt like I
They
didn't
had a
really-
class on what did they teach?
I mean
What did they have you read? Do you remember?
I wasn't in it, but it seemed like, you know, they were gonna look at like Ted Berg and like Frank O'Hara and all that. Like I don't know. I didn't look at the list. Like I wasn't in it, so I don't know. But it seemed probably in that kind of caliber. But But
Caliber. You keep using this word
yeah, I don't know
caliber.
why.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I don't know if you're using it the right way. Caliber implies like I think a quality or something.
Oh,
Well, I don't know. That's
in
okay.
that range, I guess. I don't know. Okay.
Okay, so anyway, Bennington and
I feel like maybe we should tell stories.
yeah, tell us a story.
Do you have a question? Like, cause I was just like, there was
Well,
just something
okay, you said it was the
exciting.
first time you got paid to fucking
Yeah.
write. What made you submit to that?
Well, I just really wanted to submit
Yeah.
my poems out because I thought they were like good enough to.
You submitted online?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like I just wanted to put them out like
Uh-huh.
somewhere. Like I felt like they needed to be out there. Like
Yeah.
people need to read it.
Uh-huh.
Oh well, this was another formative thing in high school. I used to go to this place called Youth Speaks. It's like in the San Francisco Public Library is actually really insane. Like the main branch.
Right, yeah,
The
yeah.
teen studio. They had like a recording studio, and 3D printers and stuff like that. But every Thursday night, they had Youth Speaks, which is like a spoken word, I guess, contest. That's like a national contest, I guess. I never participated because like I just was never really into slam poetry, but I would just go because like it was a chance for me to write poems, you know, and like be in a group of like poets.
Right,
But
right,
everyone else is kind of writing slam poetry except for
Right.
me,
Right,
so it felt a little like.
right.
But I still like learned from them. I was still
That's like
I was
often
still,
like, you're like the odd person out with like the
Yeah.
slam thing.
yeah, like I was kind of the odd person out.
Yeah.
But it's like funny. So my senior year of high school, they actually introduced spoken word as a department.
Are you serious? Whoa.
I was low-key in
interesting.
it.
They had
I
a
was-
class for that?
I was in it. I was actually in it.
What did they
because-
teach you? Like videos? They show you videos or you read stuff?
It was always different. The guy was very eccentric.
How did they teach you like rhyming and how do they teach you that rhythm?
It was like a lot. Oh yeah, so they do, what is it called? Like is it a cipher or what is it called when you're just like kind of like freestyling and you're like in a circle like
Oh,
I
that, I
forgot
don't
what it's
know.
called. But yeah, like
Sounds
they would
about
do
right.
that,
Yeah.
and then like there would be different like units.
They do that in the class? I see, so it's like an
Yeah.
improv class or something almost.
Kind of.
Or
There
like
was
an
a
acting-
unit I remember
yeah.
when we were writing stand-up comedy. Like I don't know. it
In
was
the
like-
slam thing?
No,
Wow.
in the spoken word department at my high school.
Oh, I see. So they just put everything under that umbrella. Stand-up comedy and
Yeah, I don't know.
poetry.
But
and-
it was like weird because I think that was.
that's the
at-
part.
at
That's the
that
department
point-
I would be in. The tortured poets department. Oh no.
But, no, because I was like gonna do this big thing where I was like, can I actually like be in this department? You know, I don't really like as much as I want to direct films. Like I don't really
Yeah.
like get along with the people in this film department anymore. Like I just don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like 1 foot out the door with like going to Bennington, but 1 foot in the door with being the like I was literally in the spoken word department until I left high school actually. This is one thing like I definitely deleted from my memory, but I was literally I switched departments for like a few weeks or
Okay.
for like maybe a few
Right.
months, I don't know, but yeah, we would just
A spoken word
spoken
department.
word,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
That's what I was
Only in
doing.
San Francisco. I don't even think they have that in New York.
Yeah, it
I
was.
don't think
it
there's
was
a
really
spoken
funny.
word department.
But yeah,
anywhere
but like
else.
everyone was kind of just, everyone else was a little more slammy, but so I was just kind of like sitting there like.
There's
the
a
odd one out
huge.
as
That's a
fuck.
huge scene.
I know, but it was like I was always just the odd one out, so I was just sitting there like.
Yeah.
Well, because the creative writing department people
Yeah.
were pricks. Like
Why?
I hated them. They were just like assholes. Like I remember this one guy who was super pretentious, and he just like loved Odyssey, and like he would always wear like a tweed blazer to school, and it was just like obnoxious people, and they like treated themselves like a cult, and they wouldn't hang out with anyone else besides the department. So they were just kind of like,
That was the literary people.
that was the creative writing.
Creative
department.
writing people.
Yeah. But I was in film, but it was
I
like
see.
weird because a
Huh,
lot of
okay.
people who were in musical theater or whatever,
Yeah.
they always thought I was in the creative writing. Like when I talked to people now, they were like,
Right,
"You were in creative writing, right?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, I was in media." Like I was like this. yeah,
Yeah,
it's like funny. Like I was like, no, I was not in
interesting.
creative writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was weird. But
AWP. It's AWP
Yeah.
right now. We should point that out. We're not there.
we're not at AWP.
This is our AWP. Oh, okay.
It's our AWP.
So we got 20%. So
Okay.
we should, we
Okay,
can do
yeah.
probably 10 more minutes or
Okay.
something.
But yeah, so then I finally like took the
Hi, buddy. I gotta get a shot of the kitty real
Oh.
fast. Just gotta get that on the. Oh, we got 3 people watching. Hi, buddy. Look at the cute little kitty.
This is what I mean, like I'm only I feel like I have exciting stories.
Buddy. Well, tell us an exciting story.
I don't
Thank you.
know,
It's
but
the
it kinda
Ashley
has to be
Escobar
prompted.
interview.
It kinda has to be prompted though, like or like something has to be unlocked. I don't like it has to be unlocked within a conversation, like like
Okay, let me just see what I can unlock in a conversation from Ashley. Well, we're talking about your like development as a fucking like
yeah.
writer as a throughout your childhood. I mean,
Yeah, but like we can move
yeah,
on. from
I
that.
mean,
feel like
it'd
we
be
can
kind of
move
more
on.
interesting maybe to hear about Bard Summer Camp or
Yeah.
Bard Berlin
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Bennington
Yeah,
or
yeah. See, that's
real
what
breakthroughs
I mean. Yeah,
that
yeah.
you know, like shit you did as a child. It's interesting, but like we don't necessarily need to hear it from grade level.
Okay.
So okay, so but you went to these summer camps. So you were always hardcore about it. You were always knew. You always knew that,
Yeah.
and you were on that path,
Well, at
and you trained
Bard College at
seriously.
Simon's Rock, that's when I really fell in love with that Ted Berrigan poem, like 10 Things I Do Every Day.
Right.
And I don't know, that really affected me. And that like changed, that was like my mood for like the entire summer, basically. And my teacher there, Mary Leonard, she suggested, because like my poems were that kind of prose poems that were memoirish, and she suggested I read Patti Smith. So I got really into Patti Smith, and I would just like take my friends when I returned back to San Francisco, like to go see like Robert Mapplethorpe and like the SF MoMA, and like I would take photos on like my 35mm camera and stuff, and I was just like kind of in this mindset like I don't want to be in San Francisco anymore. Like I don't know, I feel like I'm always like trying to flee something. Like I feel like that's always like I always feel like kind of like I'm not really in one place. Like I always feel like
Yeah.
floating. Like I'm not like I mean it's literally one of my poems. Like I feel like constantly like, on a moving walkway in an airport. Like I feel like I've never been really settled
Right.
in a
Right.
place.
Right.
So yeah, like
Even in San Francisco, you felt like you had to leave.
yeah, like I just felt like the people I like met. I mean, obviously it was like high school, so it was a little like I mean, it's just dramatics, but like I just like thought like I needed to find people who like the same music as me and the same
Right,
books or
right,
like
right,
really
right.
got it and stuff. And I feel like you always do like occasionally meet someone like that, just in like passing in coincidence and chance, but like you're not always gonna be around people like that, you know? And that's something that you kind of just learn as you get older. But it's like even like your best friends, they're not gonna be like the people that like
Right.
you know have the same exact interests as you and same goals in life and stuff like
Well,
that.
that depends.
Yeah, like
That depends how hard you go into something. You know what I mean? You're always
Yeah.
probably gonna know people that don't share that stuff,
yeah, but I mean,
and that
like,
doesn't
but
necessarily
it
make a
shouldn't.
friendship.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be like a classification for like.
Yeah.
Yeah, for them being your friend, like, but yeah, like I feel like yeah, that summer camp, like I would just like write. They had open mics at that summer camp. Like, just
Nice.
within the-
Summer camp open mic.
But basically, I was writing
Wow.
about one of the camp counselors, and I just had the guts to do it. Like, I read a poem about him in front of everybody. It was like very blatantly obvious, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened with that?
I mean, nothing happened. I think some of the other camp counselors like joked or like, "Ha, a nice poem to me" and stuff like that. Like, but it's like crazy, like small world thing because later, I ended up meeting him or running into him at an event at Billy's record salon the first time I went there.
Okay, right,
And
right,
then
right,
he
right,
ended
yeah.
up contributing to my zine.
Yeah.
So it's like a
I mean,
weird
these circles
small
are
world.
small,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a really small milieu, that's kind of what
Mhm.
I learned. But yeah, it was like weird. But it's like, yeah, like when I was like 16 or whatever, like, it
Right.
just seemed like, oh, like, anyone in college, or like anyone who like was like, you know, out there writing and like doing art and stuff, they just seemed really cool, and like I was still this person who was like, I don't know, but high school to me is still wild. Like, I feel like I'm really appreciative of
Yeah,
everything that I was able to do, because I feel like there's so much there to unpack.
yeah,
Just like, just all the aimlessness and just like the people I knew,
mhm,
and yeah, like everything we'd do like after school and stuff. It was just very like,
yeah, the aimlessness.
yeah, the aimlessness
The
I think is very
loitering.
important. Yeah, the loitering. And just like being at Hippie Hill all the time, like, I feel like it's very,
Hippie Hill.
Yeah, like, yeah, I really loved that film Diary of a Teenage Girl, like, I think, cause that's like a girl in San Francisco, like, in the 60s, but then, like, I was like, you know, like, it feels very, like, much the same in a way,
Yeah,
even though it's, like, 2015 or something, and it's, like,
right,
it's, like, all the same places and things, and it just felt very real in a
Mhm.
way. No, I just really hope this doesn't sound boring.
No, I don't think so, I don't know. Keep going.
Yeah, and then I think it's just like the biggest thing to me was just like when I first started Bennington, like
Yeah.
I was in a lot of like fiction workshops at
Yeah.
first.
Mhm.
I was literally like my second semester, I was the only freshman in a advanced fiction workshop with juniors and seniors who kind of tore at me and were like, this is so Holden Caulfield, blah blah
Really?
blah. But it's like the writing, like I think was still like, obviously it's not really like what I would write now.
Mhm.
Like I feel like I've definitely evolved. Like it still had like a lot of like moments and like feelings that I want to write now.
Yeah.
But like it just like at that time like it wasn't like what I was trying to do, like it just, I just didn't do it the way I like really wanted to do it.
Right,
Like it felt like a starting point.
yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, but I was just like, yeah, but like I feel like people still saw something in me that like I was accepted into these workshops even though I was like a freshman and stuff.
Yeah, right, right.
So like, yeah, but I got a lot of like good, like I've definitely like evolved through like those workshops and like working, like more so than at Columbia so far. Like I feel like
Yeah,
the professors I had at Bennington who
right,
they really like gave me like really like personal advice and
Yeah.
like feedback and like ways where it seemed like they understood my writing more like right away.
Right,
Then like I feel like at Columbia it's like a little less
Yeah.
personal.
right, right,
And
right.
it feels like, yeah, like I haven't really learned something that I'm gonna hold forever, like as much as I did at Bennington.
Yeah,
And it's like kind of scary to think about because this is my last
yeah,
semester.
right.
And I'm just like, I feel like the whole time I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm doing this for like the degree, really. I mean, besides Edwin
Yeah,
Torres, like I
right,
think
right.
Edwin
Yeah,
Torres,
right,
like
right,
I feel like working with him one-on-one
Yeah.
has been very helpful and
Yeah.
engaging.
right,
But I feel like that's different than like,
right.
you know, you expect your workshop professors to kind
Yeah,
of,
right,
like,
right.
do something more than just being like a line editor or something.
Yeah, it feels that way, seeing your experience. It feels kind of impersonal.
Yeah, but like at Bennington, like I feel like even like the students really like helped.
Mhm.
Even the ones like at first I thought were like judgmental or being like, oh,
Yeah,
this is
right,
so like,
right.
I know like yeah, like who are like, oh, this feels just like a Tarantino hangout movie or something, but it's kind of like what's wrong with that, you know?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, but it's like, but I do see that like there were parts of my writing that like, there were parts that I would still keep now, but there's
Yeah.
still a lot of parts that weren't ready yet, or
Right,
like
right,
that were
right.
still kind of half baked.
Right.
Like, But yeah, going to Berlin was a good break. Cause then at Bennington, I feel like this whole like trajectory is just me fleeing things. So I just felt like I need to flee Bennington, so I went to Berlin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I
That
ended
was
up
like
wanting
your
to
junior
stay.
year
Yeah.
or something?
The beginning of the second semester of my sophomore year, I just got an exception to do it before I became a junior, and I actually was gonna stay there the whole year, but then the pandemic happened.
Oh,
within
right.
the
Oh,
second,
fuck.
Yeah.
Really? I see. So you were there
Yeah.
from like what, September to March or something?
Yeah, yeah. But I thought it was really great just to like. I mean, I read like Berlin Alexanderplatz and like.
You did?
Yeah. I really liked it.
Who
I
wrote that?
Alfred Dublin.
How long is it?
It's shorter than Ulysses, so it's not.
Shorter than Ulysses, okay.
But it's
But
actually
the
a
mini
pretty.
series is like heat long.
Oh yeah. The mini series is really long, but the book itself isn't that long.
Interesting.
I could it wasn't
What's
that.
it about?
It's really about. I mean, is it like before World War II? It's after.
I have no clue.
It's like the early 1900s.
Okay.
It might be before World War One actually.
Interesting.
And it's a lot about just if I remember right, it's just like the dailiness of like walking through Berlin at that
Oh,
time.
really?
There are a lot of like like prostitutes and
Yeah,
like things like that.
right.
Like it's
Yeah, okay.
I mean I
Huh.
definitely recommend it. I think it's a
Yeah,
really like
okay.
interesting. And like I also read a lot of like Walter Benjamin
Yeah, right,
like
right,
walking
right.
around the city and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I was very into the idea of a flaneur because
Right.
I feel like I've always been trying to figure out a way to describe myself, and I feel like
Yeah.
flaneur was one of them, and like
Yeah.
this big idea. And then, yeah, when I actually that January 2020,
Yeah.
I actually flew to Paris alone, went to Shakespeare and Company. And they told me you should try again next week, and I was
To
like,
do the
"Fuck you
tumbleweed
guys."
thing or whatever. Well, I imagine there's a lot of people trying to do that now.
Yeah, but like I was just really like I thought.
Now it's
it
like,
was-
oh, let's Emily in Paris our way over and Jenny Zhang ourselves into the fucking upstairs at Shakespeare.
Yeah, but
Rookie magazine
but I'm
wrote a
just, like,
fucking
one-
blog about it.
But I'm just like one day like I do picture myself.
Now
doing
everybody's
that.
in the tortured poets department with Taylor, so they're all gonna be crashing at Shakespeare and Company.
No, don't say that. That's my worst nightmare.
There's over tourism everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
that's
killing
true.
everything.
That's true.
You know.
But I think like Berlin, like I actually got a very like non-touristy experience in a way.
Right.
Well, I actually.
Well,
like,
Berlin is like the place everybody's fleeing. Even New Yorkers are
Yeah.
like, we got to go to Berlin. Everybody that's really cool in
Yeah.
New York has to go to Berlin.
Yeah, but I felt like Berlin, like I had an interesting experience where I actually was really, the classes were really great. Like honestly, sometimes I was kind of like, wait, Bard classes are actually really good, I think. There was a whole class on Ulysses that I took on modernism that was really, really good. And I thought that was like really interesting
Interesting.
because I'm never someone who takes like literature classes, so I took
yeah.
it. And a lot of like
That's crazy to me. That's like all I took. I love taking book classes where I like read fucking, I didn't
Yeah.
even, I took some creative writing classes, but.
yeah, and then I took
Yeah.
I took a workshop. There were like 5 kids in it, which was kind of
In
crazy.
Berlin.
Yeah, it was actually really funny. Yeah, one of the kids.
So Bard Berlin is like what, like 800 kids or something? Or
Oh no, it's like I think it's like 160 kids.
they have a dorm or something?
Yeah, they have dorms. There were actually like apartments, so it was really
Nice,
nice.
really?
Like high ceilings, huge
Nice.
windows, wooden floors. It was really like honestly best apartment I've ever lived in.
Wow.
yeah.
Amazing.
It was really beautiful.
You just walk everywhere. They have bookstores.
Yeah,
They
books.
have open mics.
Berlin has like bookstores. Not even kidding. Like every corner there's a bookstore. Like that's
Damn.
what's so beautiful. about it.
English? You get English books?
There are a lot
It's
of
hard
English
to find
bookstores.
English language books
There,
over there.
there are a lot of English. There are a lot of English. There was this really good one in Prenzlauer Berg, which is nearby, where like it was like used books, which is
Yeah,
even better.
right.
But yeah, I would look at like Bukowski there and stuff like I don't know, like I would find random things.
What
to
would the
look at.
likelihood that you would find, like, let's say, Eddie's book?
Depends. I'm sure you could.
You know, or
there
some kind of like,
there-
you know.
All of the bookstores are really cool. I'd say they're not.
um,
Yeah, there's an amazing one. That's like literally 10 stories or something like. that have-
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
it's huge.
Holy shit.
It's huge and it's really
That's
insane.
crazy.
And I found this like small. I used to have this small. I don't know what happened to it. I had this small pocket copy. It was red of Dennis Johnson's.
Train ring.
No. I saw you read Train Dream. Jesus' Son.
Yeah.
Because they had like just these pocket series
Oh,
of
wow.
all
cool.
these books.
Amazing.
And I think it's
That's
really
like a
for.
thing they do there.
And it's like weird. I think it's for like German speakers to like learn English or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Because they have like all these footnotes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like crazy because I was like, they're these cute
Yeah.
pocket books. Like I have to like
Yeah.
read those. Like this is
Interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
But they really take like
Yeah.
literacy really seriously.
Really?
I mean, there are bookstores everywhere, and like I think it's like
Interesting.
yeah, like yeah, like that's what I really liked about it, and I felt like it was very like you could really feel the art there,
Right.
and it wasn't
yeah,
pretentious
right.
in any way.
Really?
I didn't
It's not
personally
pretentious
think
there?
it was pretentious.
But
like,
the food is good.
I don't really like. I mean, German food. I feel like. I mean, I don't really.
Your
Like
writing
German
went
food.
well there, or
Huh?
your writing went well there. What kind of writing did you get into there? Were you writing when you were there, or just
I was
partying,
writing
or?
some auto fiction, like, cause the
Yeah.
summer before I went to Berlin was actually really like insane summer.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was writing about that,
Nice.
and I was writing a lot of poetry about that. That was also the year Lana Del Rey's Norman fucking Rockwell came out.
I
Like
see.
there
Okay.
was a lot of interplay between that, cause that really paralleled my life during that summer.
Right.
So I was kind of reflecting on that, but like being somewhere far away was like a good starting point to
Right.
reflect on everything.
Hmm.
And then I was also seeing a lot of movies. I went to like the Berlin Film Festival.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I saw like, yeah, it sucks because it was right before the pandemic, so a lot of these films just kind of didn't even get any like, you know, cinema time or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's where I saw like,
Cinema time.
that's where I first saw Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, that like movie that came out that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I saw there's like a modern adaptation of Berlin Alexanderplatz. It's like 3 hours
really?
long.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked that film. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's online, but it was really good.
Which one?
The modern day version of Berlin Alexanderplatz.
I'm sure it's online. Everything is online.
But it like follows, I think, like a migrant who moves to Berlin. It's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in Berlin, like, I always had a really good balance
Yeah.
of like going out and stuff, because it didn't feel like even when you were going out, it felt more chill than just like
Yeah.
like partying. Like I feel like you can like go to the grocery store and buy like $1 beer and just come back and still do your homework and stuff.
Right.
Like it didn't feel like all of that was like separated, you know.
Right. What about when you go to Berghain or whatever the fucking place?
Berghain.
Berghain.
Yeah, like that just felt
What the
like
fuck is that about?
that was fun. Like,
Yeah.
It was just like I really wanted to see Jamie XX like DJ that like
Who's that?
he's the one of the members of the XX that
Okay.
indie, yeah.
And they were there? Or?
He was DJing, yeah, he was DJing at 6 a.m.
Oh yeah.
So I was there like in line at like
It's
10
the
in
Monday
morning.
night. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, so I've always noticed this too, cause like, you know, like Easy Paradise is on Monday.
Yeah.
It's a weird thread in my life
Yeah.
that Mondays are
Yeah.
kind of my quote unquote party days.
Yeah.
Because in high school, actually, a lot of the time, like my friends and I would party on Mondays for some reason,
Yeah.
and it became a joke. And there's even that like Strokes song that like we
Yeah.
coincidentally related to, where it was like Monday, Tuesday, or my weekends or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in Berlin, Kit Kat, which is like this fetish club, they do this thing called Electric Monday every Monday. So it was like for some reason, like Mondays in my life have always been
Yeah,
like the
party
night out
day.
for some reason.
Really?
It's like weird.
Punk rock karaoke was on Monday. Well, a lot of times that's when the people, you know, that'll be like, there'll be deal, because nobody goes out that day,
Yeah.
you know, so it's like the poetry day, a lot of poetry open
Yeah.
mics for that day,
Yeah, but I just like I don't know.
service industry
I
night.
also just don't like being out when there's a lot of people like Saturdays. Like
Yeah,
you know, there are a
right.
lot of people on Fridays. Like I just
Yeah.
feel like I'd rather do something more chill.
Yeah,
But like
Monday,
go out
Tuesday,
on other,
Thursday,
on other days.
those are
yeah.
my favorite days to go out generally.
Yeah, like I'd rather go on a different
Karaoke
day.
used to be Tuesday, and then Thursday was always, you know, because you can't wait for the weekend.
Yeah.
So you want to go out Thursday,
Yeah.
and then you don't end up going out Friday, and you maybe go out Saturday.
Yeah, but the whole thing during the pandemic was that I worked on my novel, and then the October
Yeah.
of 2020.
Yeah.
My friend Kay and I, we decided to hold each other, and we were like, every day of October we're gonna write a poem,
Yeah.
and that's kind of how my chapbook sometimes came to life.
Okay.
Because we actually wrote a poem every day,
Yeah.
and we tried different formats too, like we tried writing like a blues poem or like
Yeah.
a ghazal or whatever, and like so we tried different
Yeah.
forms and stuff,
Right.
and yeah, I mean I ended up pretty much liking what I had written
Yeah.
for the whole month, so I like yeah,
You
so I
submitted
was
it.
like I should submit it places. So.
Right. And it was published by who?
Invisible Hand Press, they're a press in London.
London.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so they have copies over there
Yeah.
and in the United States. Do they send it to bookstores or?
Yeah, I mean it was like it's more of like an online thing right now, but he's like trying to distribute
Okay.
more of it to like bookstores and stuff. But like it came out during the pandemic, so it was like a little hard at first.
Right,
and, like
okay.
yeah. But
Invisible Hand Press.
Yeah.
What's it called?
sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, like the My Bloody Valentine song. It's like my favorite song.
Alright, well I think I'm running out of battery.
Yeah.
It's getting late. We should wrap it up. Maybe we'll continue.
Yeah. We should
feel like there's
take
a lot
the
more to
fun
cover, but
story
we got-
time sometime.
Okay, let me just unlock some of your fun
Okay,
stories,
okay.
okay? Thank you for watching. Go back and watch episode 1. We will continue again. We just are scratching the surface. Even that was 2 hours.
Damn.
That was 2 hours, and we barely scratched the surface of anything. So we'll get into more later. Thank you for
Yeah,
watching.
thank you for watching.
Check out Ashley. We got big news coming up soon. We'll talk to you soon. Just keep your eyes